playing really, really well, to do it in a hostile environment and to be able to answer runs like we did in the second half and be able to close it out and be proud of my group of young men in that locker room. Obviously, contributions jump out statistically on the sheet, but everybody that got in there gave us a boost and helped out. So, like I said, just happy for our guys. Continue to get better as the season unfolds, and hopefully we got more improvement to be made yet. Questions?
Coach, Michigan scored 44 points in the paint, but only shot 10 three-pointers. So was that part of the game plan going in to limit their chances from deep?
Well, Xavier's so good at getting in the paint. You know, that's part of when you look at points in the paint. You think, okay, is it just a big guy, or you getting handled in there physically? But with the pressure he puts on a defense, and obviously he finds people, they're able to get there. But I mean, we followed our normal rules on the perimeter in terms of abiding by those. So nothing totally really different. Obviously he's been a handful all 4 years we've played him. So at times we were good in those ball screens, and other times we were not. So we'll look through that film and try to improve as we go forward.
You talked about this team's growth over and over and over. You talked about before you said something about answering their runs. Is that kind of where it shows the most? Is it?
Yeah, I think that ability to handle adversity, you know, and the boat rocks a little bit, so to speak. That we don't panic and calm down during timeout. So if we get them, there's one set of possessions there where they're making a run, and I decided not to take a timeout. Let's play through it. And you know, this group over the last 60 to 90 days, as I told them in there, 60 days ago, this wouldn't have been possible. We weren't ready to come into this environment against a good team and to be able to finish out a game on the road. So it just shows the maturity and shows the leadership in the locker room that we have with our older guys. So like I said, at the opening statement, I'm really proud of how they've grown and matured and have stuck together.
Do you think it played to your strengths that they replaced Eli Brooks with a big rather than another guard?
No, I mean, I don't think that really had a whole lot to do with it. I mean, when I found out the lineup, I didn't know that Brooks had broken his nose until right before the game when he wasn't warming up. So they had already had their lineup in as a big and as a bigger lineup, and I left mine. I thought about countering and going with Potter in the starting lineup, but we had practiced with the five that I started with, so I didn't want to disrupt that routine and rhythm that they had prepared for a couple days.
The possession went twice hit for three coming out of the timeout, with about 3 minutes left. He had the ball in his hands for most of that possession. What were you looking for there?
Get the best shot possible. I mean, he's hit big shots before. I mean, like Simpson has led Michigan to a lot of victories. Trice has really stepped into that role for us, and he's been playing terrific here in the last month plus. So tonight's the most he's scored in a while, but he's really done a good job of facilitating and running a team, and has always had. Seems like we constantly get really good point guard assignments for him defensively. Another one tonight, obviously, with Simpson.
What do you think Michigan missed most in Eli's absence?
Well, I mean, that's more of a question for Michigan, and I go on the coach one team, so you know, he's a good player, but they got a lot of good players. So we've all had to go through times when we've had guys out, whether they've been, you know, we had to play a game with Brad Davison suspended. And to go through the first 10 games with Potter not eligible with the NCAA transfer rules. So everybody has to overcome some form of adversity. We've always had the philosophy of next man up, and you know, that I'm sure they'll do the same.
You guys make a lot of threes. The Michigan defense three-point line really well. I guess coming in, was that a concern? You wouldn't be able to get your looks?
Well, I think anytime, you know, we try to defend the line pretty well too. Similar philosophies. At least watching them, I don't know what John's philosophy was when he was here, but I think, you know, ball movement creates a lot of that. If you get dribble penetration, we don't want to be three happy per se, but we wanted to make sure we top side with the ball, play inside out, trying to touch what we call the TFC, 10-foot zone. And whether we got it there on the dribble drive, which we did, we got them spread out a little bit, we're able to drive it, or if we, you know, can touch somebody in the post as a stationary post player. Anytime you can put pressure on the rim, I think that's always important. And teams always, players shoot threes better when the ball comes inside out. 10 toes are towards your rim, and you're on balance, and those are easier threes to make. And I thought for the most part we took pretty good ones. I'll go through the film and grade them, but I was pretty happy with our shot selection for the most part.
What was your message to your team in the second half when Michigan kind of cut the deficit down to?
Yeah, we've been in that situation before where teams have made runs. Just calm down. They've made their run. Now it's time for us to punch back. And the timeouts, whether there was media or the one I took, came at the right times where we could, kind of gather ourselves and regroup a little bit. But credit goes to our players for responding. We came right back and answered what they were doing, and we were able to counter back.
Anything further?
Greg believes we're playing well. Did you see another level?
Yeah, I told him in the locker room, man, you're growing up right in front of my eyes. And it's just, and this team has been opportunistic. Reavers struggles a little bit. Potter comes in and plays well. Trice obviously was terrific tonight, but yeah, guys have just been opportunistic of their chance, and they're always ready. I think that's the one thing. Always stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And these guys, whether they're starting or coming off the bench, Tyler Wall's 3 was huge to extend the lead, and he's had a hard time making those shots. And told me the other day in practice, you're a good shooter, you just haven't made it. So keep your confidence, keep working at it. That ball will go in for you. So, like I said, just proud of them how they've all had each other's back and stayed ready and keep getting better.
Very good. Wisconsin players will be